Good morning and welcome to this weekend's Weird Files. I found some really good and odd headlines for us to talk about this morning. Now, I do want to apologize because me and Alex, we did take a little break this week. We've had just so much going on between my classes. Alex's last week of school was this week. He graduates next Thursday night. I'm not prepared for that. But anyway, and it's just been life in general. But, we're back now and we're raring to go.
Triple M Studios proudly presents the Weekend Weird Files. And here's your host, the weirdest one of all, Andrea Louie.
Now, you may have heard of this first story because it's been on social media all week, but I wanted to talk about it anyway. So, there was these two sisters. On Wednesday morning of this week, they woke up, they decided they wanted to take a road trip. They were going to California. They wanted to go to the beach. Now, that all sounds pretty normal, right? Well, the sisters we're talking about, they were only 9 and 4 years old. They had made it about 10 miles from their house in West Jordan when the car they were driving veered into oncoming traffic and crashed head-on into a semi. Fortunately, nobody was hurt in the accident, but both girls were wearing their seatbelts. And I read also that if they hadn't been wearing their seatbelts, it probably would have had a totally different outcome. Before they crashed into the semi, the girls had sideswiped a pickup truck. So the driver of it started following them because he thought the driver was impaired somehow. Now imagine his surprise when he learned that the driver wasn't impaired, but was only 9 years old. The girls left their house at 4:30 that morning without their parents even knowing it. And the parents actually didn't know they had left the house until the police called them after the crash. Now, I'm not finding anything about any kind of charges being filed, and I'm not even sure what kind of charges you could file against a 9-year-old and a 4-year-old for taking a car and crashing it. But anyway, now, as a parent, I can't imagine waking up to the police calling me to tell me that my little kids had taken my car and then crashed it into a semi. And I can imagine, all the worst-case scenario things was running through their heads because, you hear a car crash and it involves, a semi, you'd think, oh, God, what are you about to tell me? But I'm sure once they learned that their little girls were okay, they probably were a little upset, to say the least, that that had happened with their car. But anyway, it's kind of hard to say what you would feel about something like that without being in that situation yourself. Well, we all know that the brood X cicadas are emerging from their 17 years of slumber. I've seen posts on Facebook about eating them like it's a delicacy, which makes me want to gag. People are eating them in so many different ways, from deep frying them to adding them to a salad. And another post showed a wide variety of animals at the zoo enjoying them as a snack. And I can just imagine our bearded dragon Bridget probably would go nuts over a new bug. But I don't think we're going to go out and catch any for her. But anyway, the good news is that they're gluten-free, high in protein, low in fat, and low in carbs. But the FDA has a warning about them. If you're allergic to seafood, don't eat them. Now, they say it needs further research, but scientists say that because cicadas belong in the crustacean family, which is the same family as shrimp and some other seafood, they can cause an allergic reaction because they contain some of the same proteins as their shrimp cousins. Now, I'm allergic to shrimp, but even if I wasn't, you wouldn't catch me snacking on those little noisy boogers that come out. I'm just going to leave those for the cats to play with. Alright, so in our last story, have you ever found a message in a bottle that washed up on the beach? Well, earlier this week, a man from Marathon, Florida found a bottle with a message inside. And this was in the canal that runs behind his mom's home. And the message inside said, "Dear person who finds this, I want you to try to return it to me. My name is Zach Williams. And if I'm dead by the time you try to return it, just keep it. I put it in the ocean at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And the date that was on the note was May 16th, 1987. Now, when the men started to track down Zach Williams, he soon found out the truth behind the note in the bottle. The note wasn't actually written by Zach, but it was written by his young son named Noah earlier in the week. And it actually wasn't thrown into the ocean at Myrtle Beach. It was placed in the canal that it had been found in by Noah when the family was there on vacation. He backdated the note so that it would seem like it was older, and he used his dad's name because, well, he hadn't been born in 1987. Noah's prank even had his dad, Zach, fooled at first. Now, Zach said that when he was young, he and his family would visit Myrtle Beach on vacation, and he remembered writing a note and sticking it in a bottle, and then he threw it out into the ocean. When he realized the bottle had been found near where the family had just vacationed, he decided to ask Noah about it, and Noah admitted to writing the note, and they all got a really good laugh out of it. Well, that's all I have for this weekend's Weird Files. Join us bright and early on Monday morning for an all-new episode of Mystery, Murder, and Magic. And I want y'all to have a good weekend, and don't forget to keep it really weird.